Hello, hello. Are you ready? Oh no, it's first thing in the morning. I'm sorry, you guys. I already saw a comment like, look, it's 7:30 and I'm ready to snap. So I'm glad that you're here because a lot of times we feel like that, right? We're always battling with our kids and we're like, oh my gosh, you're driving me crazy. And we're like, what am I supposed to do? Right? So in today's video, I'm going to share 3 quick ways that you can actually use your language to transform the environment in your house. Now, I'm not pretending that it's going to make everything perfect, but they are ways that you can start thinking differently and speaking differently to your child so that you're not having to battle every single day from 7:30 in the morning to 7:30 at night. So if that's something that's important to you and you know some friends who might need to hear about this too, go ahead and click share so that they can get these tips. You guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. I'm so excited to be able to start off my week with you and dying. I'm not really dying. I'm doing a detox and I've got to take like 5 pills at the same time. And so I decided that it'd be a good idea to take them right before I started my video, which turns out it's not a good idea because I can still feel them going down and now I'm choking. Hold on. Let me help push them down. Okay. Okay, yes, I'm okay. Thank you. Thank you for your concern. All right, so as I go through and I'm sharing these 3 tips, you guys give me hearts, likes, comments, questions. If you're like, yeah, Damari, that sounds good, but what about this? Comment below so that I don't feel like I'm talking to myself, even though that's something that I do a lot. And I must say I'm pretty good at it. The engagement makes the videos more fun and it helps you really think about the stuff that I'm saying and get your questions answered so you can actually apply it because that's the big key. So if this is your first time tuning into one of my videos, my name is Damari Dickinson and I'm a parenting coach at Positive and Purposeful Parenting. So I've been in education for over 15 years and I decided to use the skills that I've acquired during that time. So teaching, coaching, curriculum writing, professional development, creation, and delivery to really use that to help women create more peace in their homes, to stop fighting with their kids, to really be more positive. And my big goal is to help women fall back in love with being a mom. So in those times when it's 7:30 in the morning and you've got to get to work and you're trying to get your kid off to school and things are going crazy, it's my goal to help you remember why you loved being a mom and to give you specific tools and strategies to work through that. So today, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share those tips to help you, just 3 quick things to help you change your language so that you can change the way that you're responding and interacting with your kid. If you are interested in 10 ways to do this, comment below with more tips, please, because I actually have a document that walks you through 10 things that you can say to really begin your journey to being more positive and purposeful. Or if you've already started, just to take you to the next level. So just comment more tips, please, and I'll be sure that you get it. All right, 9:03, it's time to get started. So here's the very first thing. The way this is gonna work is kind of like a say this, not that, right? So I'm gonna give you a scenario and then 2 different ways to respond to that scenario. One, which would encourage your kid to start arguing with you or to feel some type of way, really a negative response. And then the other way is to elicit a more positive response. So to Kendra, this is what you need. And just think through these ideas. I'm not saying that one of these actually happened this morning, but how can I apply this mentality to what's going on in my situation right now? So here's the very first scenario. Has your kid ever said to you, oh, I'm so hungry, even if they just finished eating lunch, breakfast, or dinner 5 minutes ago? Give me some hearts if this has happened to you. This happens to me every single day. And so sometimes we can respond by just saying, what? You are not hungry. You just ate. Or, nah, you just playing. You just trying to be greedy, right? When we do that, we're really dismissing our kids' feelings and make them feel like they're not important, they're not heard, or that we really don't believe them. So instead of telling your kid, you can't possibly be hungry right now because you just ate, instead, try something different. Try an approach where you're actually validating your kids' feelings, right? So you're going to say, they come to you like, mommy, I'm so hungry, because to them, it's like the end of the world, right? Oh, I'm about to die. I'm so hungry. Like they haven't eaten in 5 days. Like you don't feed them meals every single day. Right. So instead of getting in your feelings and dismissing theirs, try a response that actually is going to validate them. So something that sounds like, oh man, okay, well, dinner is at 6 o'clock, but if you can't wait until then, here's an apple that you can grab, right? So I'm acknowledging the fact that you're hungry, even if I don't believe it, and I'm giving you a solution. So in this, instead of me sending the message to my kids like, you know what, I don't believe you, or that doesn't even matter to me, right? You're being ridiculous. You're being crazy. I'm sending the message, one, okay, I love you. Even if I don't believe you, I'm going to help you out, right? Because at the end of the day, I'm not in their bodies, right? I'm thinking of my son because he does this all the time. You're like, I'm hungry, I'm hungry, I'm hungry. And I'm like, you just ate, but you know what? Maybe you really are. Maybe what I gave you wasn't enough for you. So what I'm not going to do is stop whatever I'm doing in that moment and cook another meal because I just fed you. But here's something that you can get. There's always fruit on the table. So, oh, you're hungry? Oh, you can go grab an apple or a banana. Which would you prefer? Right? And often he'll be like, never mind, because he doesn't want either. But that's not me saying, no, your feelings aren't valid, right? Your feelings don't matter. That's him choosing, am I really that hungry or can I wait until I'm about to eat again? All right, so that's the first tip. Try to respond in a way that's actually validating your kids' feelings. Here's another scenario. Oh, it's so hard. I just can't do it. Give me some hearts or some likes if your kids have ever said that, right? Maybe they don't use those specific words, but you can hear them mumbling and right? Because they're really frustrated. So a lot of times we want to jump in and save the day because we don't like to see our kids struggling. We don't like to see them hurting. So we just jump in and we're like, oh, let me help you. Let me show you. Look, all you have to do is do, right? Sometimes this happens too when we're watching our kids do something and they don't say that they can't do it. They just are doing it in a way that we're like, that's not really the right way. Stop. Just let me do it, right? And we jump in and we take the work over for them. So the issue with this is that that's not encouraging your kids and it's not making them feel like they are able to do the thing on their own, right? So you really want to build our kids' capacity, give them that confidence that, you know what, you can do this, right? So instead of saying, I know that's so hard, here, let me show you, and just taking it over, making sure that they can't, yes, that's it. Mommy, I can't do it, I can't. So one thing when that happens and they're just like, no, I can't, remind them of a time when they did. Remember that time when you were trying to get all the blankets upstairs at the same time and you couldn't figure it out, but then you came up with a solution. What did you do? Yeah, you tried a different way. So I'm wondering if there's a different way that you can do this, right? Can you think of another way? And if they're still like, Mommy, I can't, instead of jumping in and giving them the answer, ask them some more questions to help them think about it. Right? That way it builds their confidence. We're out here like, Black Lives Matter. I want my kids to be strong. You guys, the bird is back. Have you been following me? Like I have this bird that lives. I can't take you over there because I'm on my computer, but it's back. Okay, maybe after this, if he stays, I'll go live from my phone and show you guys. Okay, sorry. Focus. So what was I talking about? The bird, he came, distracted me. Oh, I can't, right? So encourage them, ask them questions to help them figure out a different way to be able to do that. When we jump in and take over things for our kids, he's trying to get in. All that happens is that we take away their power and now they're going to expect us to keep doing these things. And as they get older, they're not going to want to do hard things, right? If we're trying to build future leaders, right? And build people who are confident in their abilities, we've got to let them do these things on their own. So build their confidence, build their capacity by not taking over, by just reassuring them and helping them remember a time when they were able to do something well. So that's the second one. Here's the last scenario. And I don't know, this has probably never happened to you, but this one happens in this household quite often. So a lot of times this follows from the last one, right? When they're super frustrated and they can't do something and they just, and they start crying. So one way to respond to really elicit more negative responses from your kids is to say something like, oh, stop crying. It's not that big of a deal, which is probably what a lot of us are thinking in our heads, right? Like, why are you even crying? Like, the blue crayon just broke. You got 6 other blue crayons sitting right there. Just pick up another crayon and finish coloring, right? It's not that big of a deal. So while we're thinking that if that's how we're communicating to our kids, we're really teaching them again that their feelings aren't valid. So when they feel like that, just like us, right? If you're crying and you're, even if it's on the phone and you're like, oh my gosh, girl, he acted so crazy. And I'm like, if you don't stop crying and get over it, how is that going to make you feel? Is it going to make you feel like I care? Is it going to make you feel like I'm a really good friend? No, it's probably going to make you feel like, you know what, click, I don't even want to talk to you. Because you don't even understand, you don't even love me, you don't even care about me, right? You just worried about yourself. Whatever it is, it's not going to make you feel good. And so when you do that to your kids, it's the same feeling. They don't feel loved, they don't feel respected, they don't feel encouraged. So instead of trying to shut down their emotions and saying, stop crying, right? That ain't nothing to cry about. Get yourself together, which are things that I've said all the time. I might even still slip up and say one of those from time to time. But if I'm trying to create this environment of peace in my home, right, where my kids feel respected and they don't want to struggle, they don't feel like they have to prove that they are worthy of my love. They don't have to prove that they're worthy of respect in the house. A lot of times that's what happens when you find yourself in these battles with your kids. Instead of dismissing it, let me encourage, like, oh, you are really sad right now, and that's okay. You want to give me a hug? Like, that's how legit, even with my 3-year-old, my 17-year-old, she kind of cries in her room because 17-year-olds are always in her room. But even the 7, 9-year-olds, that's what we're doing. I'm not like, what, boy, get it together. Stop crying. Stop fussing. Stop whining. And so I'm like, I can tell, like, you're really frustrated because you lost that game. I get frustrated too, right? Because it happens. Even as adults, we cry, we get upset, we get whatever in our feelings, and we have the right to express that. So we want to be able to develop this emotional intelligence in our babies, right? No matter how old they are. And that comes by letting them feel their feelings, letting them know it's okay. And most importantly, letting them know that you're there for them as they're going through this. So let me get a hug. Come. This is Corey all day because everything right now in her 3-year-old, about to be 4-year-old mind is the end of the world. So she just, and instead of me like, it's just Cheerios. Like, you spilled one Cheerio on the floor. You've got a whole bowl left. Why is that the end of the world? Which is in my mind, that's how I'm responding. But instead, I'm like, oh, babe, you lost one? You want to give me a hug? Give me a hug. We hug it out, and it's okay. The awesome thing about this is now I can watch her doing this with her siblings. So yesterday, her brother was having a really hard time at the end of the day. And he was in his room. He was falling out. He didn't want me, so I offered my support. He was like, no, just leave me alone. Cool. So once he was calmed down, he came back in the room, and Corey goes to him and says, Cameron, next time you're really upset, remember what I told you to do? You just need to breathe. Like this. Okay, Cameron, can you remember to breathe? Can you remember that? So that's a 3-year-old acknowledging, like, yes, you're upset and it's okay for you to be upset. She's not saying you better stop crying or else, right? You better stop crying because it's getting on my nerves. You better stop crying because mommy's going to give you a whooping. You better stop crying because people are going to call you names. That's not it. Like, you can cry. And here's a way to help you come down when you're feeling sad. Here are things to do when you're feeling that way. So encourage your kids to really identify their emotions. And for a lot of times, if they're younger, we have to help them with that. And then let them know it's okay. So instead of saying, don't cry, say, I can see that you're upset, and then offer some support. What would it look like to support your child in that moment? Okay, so that's it, guys. Those are my 3 ways to use your language to really, let's take that one down, to use your language to really start shifting the culture in your house. So I've got a list of 10 phrases, 10 say this, not that, with a little justification behind why it's important to start making that shift. So if you're interested in receiving that list of 10 things, just comment below, more tips, please. Here, hold on. I can do this. Check me out. Comment more tips, please. And you can even send it with a smiley face. And then I'll make sure that you get those. Oh, wait, it didn't show? Hold on. Got this. Bam, there it is. And then I'll be sure that you get these. So that's it for today. As you go through the day and as you get in those moments where your kids are plucking your nerves, right? And you feel that the battle's about to start, stop and think, what can I say in this moment so that I'm not going to end up battling with my kids, but that I can actually validate their feelings, build their capacity, build their confidence, and really help them develop their emotional intelligence. How can I do those things? And then come back, because I promise at some point today, probably for those of you guys who are home with your kids still, at some point in the next 30 minutes, you'll get a chance to practice this. So what I want you to do is to come back to this video and comment what happened. Damari, here's the situation, here's what I said, and it went great. Or I tried what you said and it didn't go well, so that I can help you troubleshoot. All right, so it's been 15 minutes. That is it. I promised I was trying to do 5 minutes. I'm gonna blame it on the bird. I'm going to say that the bird was distracting me and made me keep going a little bit longer. So thank you for joining me. Even if you catch the replay on this, be sure to answer the questions that I've asked. Make sure to post your questions and just comment below, because I'll come back and respond to all of those replay comments as well. So that's it for today, guys. Damari Dickinson here. Remember, my goal is to help equip you with the tools and tips that you need to increase the peace in your home and fall back in love with being a mom. So I'll be back again next Monday morning at 9 a.m. I love starting my week off with you, so I'm going to keep doing this. I'll be back at 9 a.m. on Monday with more tips and tools to help you be a more positive and purposeful parent. Until then, I'll see you on Facebook. Love you. Bye.